For this sample, we're going to sew a buttonhole. The first thing we need to do is change our settings. So if we look at our settings over here, we need to change our pattern selector so that it's set to C up here. We also need to change our stitch width here, our stitch length, so that it is set to our buttonhole setting here. The next thing that we need to do is change our presser foot. So we're going to take our seam guide out, pull our presser foot off, remember to pull towards you, and you're going to push your buttonhole presser foot on. Just like that. Your buttonhole is going to sit, your buttonhole foot is going to sit with the buttonhole foot all the way to the front, the way that it is. This is going to slide back when it starts to sew and slide back forward when you're all done. Your first thing that you are going to do, first of all, you are going to make a buttonhole that is 5 lines long. So if we look, we can see these lines on the sides of our buttonhole foot. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to make one that's 5 lines long. So your fabric is going to need to be set on your machine so that it's towards, like the bulk of your fabric is away from you, because your fabric is going to move this way first. So if you have it set back here, you're going to end up off of your fabric. So set it towards the front of your fabric and put your presser foot down. The first thing that we are going to do is make sure that this is set to C. C is going to create our first line of our buttonhole. When you get to that 5th line, stop. Make sure your needle is out of your fabric and change your pattern selector so that it goes up to the 2nd one. This is going to create a straight stitch back towards you. And you're going to go all the way back to the beginning of your buttonhole. Make sure your needle is out of your fabric. Change it to your 3rd one. This is going to create the bar tack at the bottom. Then to your 4th one, it's going to create the zigzag stitch back up the other side. It's going to go right over top of that straight stitch that it already made. Stop on that 5th line at the top of your buttonhole. Make sure your needle is out of your fabric, and you're going to change it back down to the 3rd setting, and it's going to create that bar tack at the top. There's your buttonhole. The last thing that you are going to do is take your seam ripper and slit the inside of your buttonhole. I recommend to put in a pin at the top of your buttonhole right here, right below your bar tack, so that when we slit this, we can't go any further than that pin and it doesn't cut our bar tack. There's your buttonhole.